And good afternoon, everyone. This is Kilo Charlie 9 Victor Kilo Victor. My name is Jim, and this is the Friday afternoon QSO VLOG Network. This is a directed network, and I am net control. If at any time during this net, should an emergency arise, please notify net control, and we'll stand by and allow those in need to access this frequency. Is there any priority or emergency traffic at this time? And hearing nothing, we will continue. This net is all about ham radio and being all that you can be. That's what our QSO VLOG network is all about, trying to help people achieve the best sounding station possible. Thanks for dropping by. FYI, my background is 50 years in commercial broadcasting, where a lot of big bucks are spent on audio processing equipment and getting it set up correctly to get the loudest, best sounding station possible. Well, long story short, when I became a ham radio operator, I could hear immediately a large discrepancy in on-air technical proficiency. A lot of stations were running with very poor mic equalization, very muddy with little articulation. And as I continued to work stations, I realized most of the stations were also running very low average peak modulation, many around 30% of average peak modulation. So with my background, I felt I could help, or at least try. I knew that most modern-day ham transceivers did have enough onboard processing equipment to be able to overcome most all of the problems. So it would just be a matter of developing a generic dynamic range setup procedure and then adjusting the onboard EQ gear. And so I started the QSO VLOG network with the phrase, "If you have a radio you want to check out, give us a shout." And today we're currently featuring over 2,300 QSO VLOG aircheck recordings. And you can access these recordings by going to YouTube and doing a call letter search for KC9VKV, followed by the word logbook. That's Kilo Charlie 9 Victor Kilo Victor, followed by the word logbook. And we also have a new series called KC9VKV Highlights. That's Kilo Charlie 9 Victor Kilo Victor, followed by the word Highlights on a YouTube search. These are some of our less technical and more human nature, philosophical kinds of QSOs. That's KC9VKV Highlights on a YouTube search. Both KC9VKV Logbook and KC9VKV Highlights are segments of our main YouTube homepage of Jim's Radio Story, where we celebrate a 50-year career in commercial broadcasting, a 50-year journey from a 5-watt pirate radio station as a 12-year-old to production director of a major 50,000-watt AM broadcast facility. And the thing that makes this truly a unique story is I have the actual audio masters from all along the way. Over 2,600 shows, including many full-length major music concerts and radio documentaries. You'll have to check it out and subscribe. Jim's Radio Story on a YouTube search. Our mission statement for the QSO VLOG network is to establish a higher technical level of radio transmissions of the human voice by the intelligent utilization of available electronics in current amateur radio transceivers. Our setup, while generic in nature, converts the average 10 dB dynamic range transmitter with an average 30% of peak modulation to a much fuller 3 dB dynamic range with an average 80 to 85% of peak modulation. This substantial boost in audio transmit level is extremely beneficial in high noise levels and heavy QRM. It allows you to punch through when others fail. The second part of our transmitter setup has to do with proper mic equalization. We're looking to optimize the transmitted voice for a higher degree of intelligibility through the use of EQ patterns that bring out the articulation aspects of the human voice. Again, why need to hear the voice if you can't understand the words? Also this afternoon on the receive side, we're running 4 Internet SDR receivers, monitoring New York, Pennsylvania, Georgia, and Virginia, trying to get the best copy from our 100-watt friends. Now the audio from these 4 SDR receivers comes up on a 6-position rotary selector. Also in this selector is our local receiver audio. And today, our local receiver is running 3 large 10-foot vertical magnetic loop antennas, one aimed at 0 degrees, one aimed at 90 degrees, and number 3 is aimed at 134 degrees. These are run as a directional scanner array with a manual voting system 6-position rotary selector. Also today on the transmit side, we'll be running our NOSWR specially oriented resonant dipole antenna. One leg of this resonant dipole runs broadside to Montreal, Canada. The other leg runs broadside to Miami, Florida. As we were constructing our station, our mantra was 20 over from Montreal to Miami with a hotspot through the Carolinas. And although conditions may vary, the general performance of this antenna supports its mission. Also today, we'll be running our input source indicator, so when we switch from an internet SDR receiver to our local receiver, you'll be able to hear the switch and see the switch. You'll have to check it out on our YouTube QSO Vlog video. And as we come together for another Friday afternoon QSO Vlog Network, let us pause just a moment for the amateur radio operator's prayer. Lord, we pray for clear 20 over S9 communications today. Let all our transmissions fill the air and reach their destinations QSA5 to be understood by all. And as we pray for good radio conditions, let us also pray for good human conditions. During this time of pandemic that has challenged us all, we pray that you will protect everyone, especially our elderly. And also, Lord, we seek your divine intervention to bring peace to a very divided United States. As we go through a very conflicting time in America's history, with dark clouds all around, we pray that you will reduce life's daily political QRM between our brothers and sisters. And through your love and guidance, show us the way to find peace and harmony. Help us to communicate with one another 20 over S9. Thank you, Lord, and God bless and protect America. Amen. To continue, since this part of the band has many nets trying to operate in a very confined area, I would appreciate all stations checking in to our QSO Vlog net to keep their band pass to no wider than 100 to 2900. Again, please, no wider than 100 to 2900. And now let's check in and see if Charlie K1GZL is on frequency to bring us up to date on the latest 40-meter band propagation. Charlie's QTH is up north in northern New Hampshire, near the Canadian border. Charlie, got a copy?
Canadian border. Charlie, got a copy?
Yes, Jim, I do have a Q5 copy running an S6 to 9 direct, as I don't have the capability of the SDR. But, yes, I'm copying you fine. It's a cold day. The temperature outside now at 3:38 p.m. Afternoon is 38 degrees, and there's a light to moderate north-northwest wind. It's overcast, although not precipitating. It is overcast, and it's cold. Do you copy? K1GZL.
Roger, Charlie. Well, Milford is not cooperating at the moment, so I had to go up to Massachusetts, and you're somewhere around 20 over in Massachusetts, Roger?
20 over in Massachusetts, Roger?
Oh, that's surprising. Normally that quite often could skip over. Okay, I don't have much on Captain Mike. He's on, his 2 weeks off. I do have a fellow in Australia I picked up on 20 meters, and this might have been about a month ago. Let's see if I've got it.
So seeing you going, I just pass my best regards along and give the report of 5 and 9. Dennis, my name's Dennis. I'm on the Pacific East Coast, Chuck, over. Time no here. I hope you haven't been incarcerated. It's about 4 years or more since we spoke on sideband on 40 meters. It's been 2016 since we worked on 20 meters. My name's Dennis, Delta Echo November India Sugar, and I am on the Pacific East Coast, beaming 58 degrees to you, and my call is Victoria Kilo number 4, Sierra X-Ray, Chuck, over.
Okay, there you go. Back to you, Jim. KC9VKV, K1GZL. On a chilly day, the leaves are at least 50% changed. 50% changed in color. Go ahead.
Roger, Charlie. I was trying to copy that Australian DX station. It was Victor Kilo 4 Sierra X-ray. Was that a Roger?
Kilo 4 Sierra X-ray, was that a Roger?
Roger, as far as I remember, Roger on that.
Roger. Well, this Massachusetts station seems to have full-range bottom-end reproduction, Roger.
Full-range bottom-end reproduction, Roger.
Okay, whereabouts in Massachusetts is it located, Jim?
I'm not sure at the moment. I'd have to bust it down to find out, but it's working. So my dad said, if it's working, don't fix it.
My dad said, if it's working, don't fix it.
I agree.
I'm 185 miles directly north of Logan
Hills, directly north of Boston. You'd end up about 5 miles, 7 miles west of Logan Airport in Boston. In other words, on the western side of the city of Boston. South of me, 180 degrees. I'm warmer down there today than it is up here, Jim. So I'm sorry about Milford not working out, but then again, all electronics, anything is possible these days with so many switches and everything going on. It's a lot of work to keep things going perfectly. If it can be done, go ahead.
Roger. I think what it is, I think there's just a bunch of people already monitoring, and so there's no extra room at the end, Roger.
So there's no extra room at the end, Roger.
Well, you never know, but the SCR comes in very handy to pinpoint somebody that might be skipping over somewhere else and taking advantage of the existing capabilities of, getting everything together so that communication stays very plausible. Well, look, Jim, I won't hold you any longer. I know there are probably many people that would like to get in there and get their rigs tested and so on. And it's always, needless to say, it's always a pleasure to work you every week here, and also it's a pleasure to see the terrific work you're doing for our fellow amateurs here to help improve their transmissions and get them getting out with full efficiency and quality of signal. KC9VKV, K1GZL.
Roger, Charlie. Well, I appreciate you dropping by as always and helping out getting us going on our QSOV-LogNet. 73 up that way. Have a great afternoon, beautiful weekend, and we'll see you hopefully next Friday. And this is just a reminder, this is the Friday afternoon QSOV-LogNet. My name is Jim. Kilo Charlie 9 Victor Kilo Victor, better known in some circles as Dr. VKV. And we are recording now live till 5, so if you have a radio you want to check out, give us a shout. We'll post this recording up on YouTube in the next couple of days. So when you go to YouTube, just do a call letter search for KC9VKV, followed by the word logbook. That's Kilo Charlie 9 Victor Kilo Victor, followed by the word logbook. And that will take you to our QSO-VLOG page, where we're currently featuring over 2,300 QSO-VLOG aircheck recordings. This recording will be cut number 1 in that series, and we'll have it uploaded by noon tomorrow. And we have a new series called KC9VKV Highlights. That's Kilo Charlie 9 Victor Kilo Victor, followed by the word highlights on YouTube search. These are some of our less technical and more human nature philosophical kinds of QSOs. You'll have to check it out. KC9VKV Highlights on a YouTube search. Well, without further ado, let's get on with the show. If you have a radio you want to check out, give me a shout.
If you have a radio you want to check out, give me a shout.
There's a station in Alabama. Come back slowly, phonetically with your call sign.
Alabama, come back slowly, phonetically with your call sign.
Alabama station, gosh, I only had just a little bit of a copy on you down in at my Georgia SDR. That was the only one I was copying you on, and it was only about a dB over the noise level. I come back one more time with the call sign slowly, phonetically.
One more time with the call sign slowly, phonetically.
November 4, Oscar Romeo Sierra.
November 4, Oscar Romeo Sierra, and what's the name there?
November 4, Oscar Romeo Sierra, and what's the name there?
Name is Ronnie, and I'm in South Alabama.
Roger, Ronnie in South Alabama. And what radio are you running today, Ronnie?
South Alabama. And what radio are you running today, Ronnie?
I'm running a Kenwood TS 440 with a TS6PKW-G5RV.
All right, Ronnie, you slipped under my noise level that time, or above it, and under it, actually. Come back one more time with that radio, please.
Come back one more time with that radio, please.
Okay, I am using a Kenwood TS 440 on the
Was that a TS 540?
Was that a TS 540?
Kenwood TS 440.
440, okay, I think I got you there. Well, our set of procedures starts with you double-checking to be sure you're in that wide transmit mode 100 to 2900. If your transmitter is, set to that, that's what we would like. It's called wide mode, 100 to 2900 on the transmit bandpass. Roger?
2900 on the transmit bandpass. Roger?
I'm assuming that is correct there, Ronnie. So then after that, or make a note to yourself to double check that at a later time. Our setup procedure starts with you engaging your compressor on at a 3 out of 10, 30 out of 100, depending on how your input to your compressor is labeled. We're looking just for a third of the compression capabilities. Roger?
Just for a third of the compression capabilities. Roger?
Ronnie, you still have a copy. This is KC9VKV.
Ronnie, you still have a copy. This is KC9VKV.
I think Ronnie may have slipped into my noise there. I did not copy in that time. Ronnie, we're going to try one more time, sir. If you have a copy, come on back to you, KC9VKV.
Copy. Come on back to you, KC9VKV.
Negative contact on November 4, Oscar Romeo Sierra, Ronnie down in southern Alabama. Well, we'll say 73 for right now, Ronnie. If my signal comes up to you later on in the afternoon, then give us a shout, and we'll try to get back to working on your radio there. This is the Friday afternoon QSO Vlognet, now live till 5 we record, and then post it up on YouTube so folks can come by and have a listen to what their transmitter sounds like. And along the way we do offer some technical setup services if you would like on your radio. This is KC9VKV, the Friday afternoon QSO Vlognet. If you have a radio you want to check out, give me a shout.
If you have a radio you want to check out, give me a shout.
Hotel, AG.
Got somebody on my local antenna that time. Station calling, come back slowly, phonetically with the call sign.
Kilo Echo 8, Uniform Bravo Hotel, AG.
All right, I got Kilo Echo 8. Come back with the rest of the call sign. Give me the whole call sign again, please.
Okay, Kilo Echo 8, Uniform Bravo Hotel, /AG.
All right, AG, welcome aboard, sir. How long have you been in AG?
Just since last night. I've had a lot of fun on 10 meters, but you're the first person I've talked to since I passed my general class test, so hey, good to talk to you.
Yes, sir. And what's the name there?
Name is Carly. I'm in north central West Virginia.
All right, in Virginia, Roger. And Carly, what kind of radio are you running today, sir?
Okay, I'm in West Virginia, but I am running a Yaesu FTDX 10.
All right, Carly, if you'd be interested in a setup procedure, it starts with you engaging your compressor at a 3, or a 3 out of 10 or 30 out of 100, depending on how your compressor is labeled. Just a token amount, something you'll never hear on the air, but it helps us achieve our 3 dB dynamic range at the end of the setup procedure. Roger?
Roger that. Hopefully it sounds a little better. I have my power turned down. Sorry about that.
All right. Are you up to 1 billion watts now, or half a billion, or 100, or how much?
Now I'm up to 100 watts now. I do have an amplifier. I have an old Meritron 8L811H. It was built back in 2009, I think.
Yes, sir. Are you running it now?
No, I've got it on standby right now.
Well, gosh, why don't you turn it on and let's hear it if you can. I mean, if you want to put your best foot forward, we are recording. So, it's up to you. But
Yeah, I need to tune it up, which I haven't done yet. I just turned it on a few minutes ago and heard you on here, and I just figured I'd jump in and say hello.
Roger, Carly. Well, if you're interested in our setup procedure, what we do is transmitter setups on this frequency on Friday afternoons, usually. And it starts with you engaging your compressor at a 3. It's a token amount, something you'll never hear, but we, usually it helps to give us our 3 dB dynamic range at the end of the setup, which transforms your transmitter from a 30% average peak modulation to an 80 to 85% average peak modulation. So it's quite a difference as far as your apparent volume, Roger.
Okay, I think that's what I have it set on for sure.
Alrighty, then move to your ALC with mic gain in hand. And as you say the magic word audio, just that magic word there, spoken just as you would in a normal conversation, not in don't stress it, just say it. And then we want to get a 2/3 reading on your ALC by way of mic gain control. So say the word and then adjust your mic gain as you're saying it to where your ALC reading is 2/3, Roger.
Okay, audio. I'm just above the 9, right around the 9 mark, S9 mark on my meter.
Roger that. And why don't you give me about 10 seconds and tell me about your antenna system.
Okay, I'm just running a dipole antenna. It's up about 34 feet. I'm down in a valley, which is kind of bad. I mean, but it does get out. I don't think
vertical would help me a whole lot. I don't even know if 200 feet on a tower would help me a whole lot, being that I'm in this valley. So I've just pretty much been sticking with dipoles. I have 3 or 4. Right now I just have 1 set up.
Roger, Carly, well, listen, I want to tell you about those dipole antennas. Those are really nice antennas. They're very, very effective and efficient. And what you want to do is try to get that SWR down to where you don't have to run your antenna tuner. You get it down to a 1-to-1 or even lower than that. If you can, and that's just a matter of time and pulling one end down and making a little adjustment and making a little adjustment on the other end. Always trying to bring that antenna to resonance on usually the middle of the band that you're operating, like the middle of 40 meters would be the way to do that, and just keep bringing the frequency of the resonance of that dipole to the middle part of the band, and then keep adjusting. What I do is on the negative side of the dipole, I use that to adjust my SWR for minimum, and I use the high side to bring it back onto frequency. And I keep going back and forth like that, always working to get the SWR lower and to keep the antenna resonant on the middle frequency. Roger?
Roger that. Yeah, I do need to tweak it a little bit, I'm sure. I haven't messed with this one a whole lot since I put it up, but that's definitely in the plans down the road.
Yes, sir, Carly. Well, it's just a matter of, when you get it down to a 1.2, nobody in the world is going to know the difference between that and a much finer tune except you, and it's like, in my case, it's just a personal challenge to get it down there to a 0.04. I use what's called split bolts. I don't know if you know what split bolts are, but they're a bolt with a notch cut in them. You slip the 2 pieces of wire between there and then tighten it up. And what I do is I use about a foot of wire at the end of my antennas, and it hangs 90 degrees down from the normal element itself, and then I just nibble on that. I don't have to nibble on the antenna itself. I've got a split bolt that connects this little piece of wire to my main element, and then I just make adjustments on that little piece of wire, never having to actually do it on the antenna itself. Roger?
Roger that. Yeah, I'll have to try that. Now, this dipole, when I was working 10 meters, which I still do, I had contacts in Brazil, Virgin Islands, Puerto Rico. I talked to a lot of the guys in Virgin Islands, Puerto Rico. I talked to a lot of the guys in Puerto Rico quite often.
Yes, sir. I've got you now on the Massachusetts SDR. I usually use the Milford, PA SDR. I've run 4 internet SDR receivers around the country just to help out, when folks need a little help in their signal. I don't transmit from those, but I listen to those, or I have those in my listening repertoire, along with my local. I have 3 local 10-foot vertical magnetic loops at different angles that I use those as scanner antennas, so I found that I thought, if I just had a 10-foot vertical loop on a rotor, it would do great, but that's so slow. So I have 3 antennas, and I just use them as scanner antennas for my local antenna, along with my dipole. And a lot of times the dipole's hotter than the mag loops, but it just depends. But I think you're sounding very good, Carly. At this point, your EQ sounds pretty good, Roger.
Carly, at this point, your EQ sounds pretty good, Roger.
Yeah, Roger that. Yeah, I built my own window pass-through because I have my station set up on the 2nd story of my house. So I had to build me a pass-through through my window. I just built for 3 antennas right now. like I say, I just have one up and operating, but I do have the space to put a couple more, so I may try that later on. And also, the one I have, the dipole I have up now is pointing pretty much north-south, but I want to set one up going east-west as well, just to see how that does.
Yes, sir. Set that second antenna up juxtaposed to the other ones. Just so if you're, theoretically, if your one antenna runs north-south, set the other one up east-west, and that'll give you a whole different ball game. And you can, with an AV switch, you can switch back and forth and get the hottest one. And you on receive, and usually the hottest one on receive is also the hottest one in transmit back. Roger?
Is also the hottest one in transmit back, Roger.
Roger that. Yeah, I'm anxious to try that. That's going to be my next project, so I'll be working on that soon. I have a lot of projects, just not a lot of time right now to do it. I'm semi-retired, but not totally retired. I hope to retire totally here within the next year or so, and I'll have plenty of time for my radios.
Well, there you go, and that's what ham radio takes a bunch of is time. There's so many different frequencies to consider, and different kinds of transmissions, AM transmission, sideband, and digital, all kinds of things to do. So that's the thing about amateur radio. There's something for everybody, Roger.
That's the thing about amateur radio. There's something for everybody, Roger.
Roger that. And I'm trying to recruit people all the time to get back into the ham radio, especially in my area. There's not very many around close to me that's ham operators anymore. I know a lot of them, but a lot of them just they quit operating for some reason.
Oh, Jimmy Ferguson.
But I still talk to people and try to get them to get involved.
Roger, Carly. Well, listen, let me say 73 to you, sir. You're sounding mighty good there. Like I say, I'm copying you, I guess, up on my Massachusetts SDR. Milford is not cooperating today at the moment, so I'm using Massachusetts as one of my 4 internet SDR receivers, and you're sounding good up that way. So if you would like to hear your audio, we are recording, and we'll be recording now till 5, and then we'll put it up on YouTube by tomorrow afternoon. So if you'd like to hear your great audio, if you go to YouTube and do a call letter search for Kilo Charlie 9 Victor Kilo Victor, followed by the word logbook, that will take you to this recording. It'll be cut number 1 in a series of 2,300 QSO Vlog Aircheck recordings. And let me say 73 to you, and have a good afternoon and a great weekend, Roger.
We say 73 to you, and have a good afternoon and a great weekend, Roger.
Roger that. 73's to you. This is Kilo Echo 8, Uniform Bravo Hotel, and I'm sure I'll get to talk to you again sometime on here. So 73's and have a good evening.
November 9 Golf Tango Oscar pulling up.
Yes, sir. My Elmer's on the frequency. Let me switch over to my local antenna, Mr. Elmer. What's going on, sir?
You're doing 40 over in Atlanta, Georgia, at the Lumpkin School there. It's got its own SDR sheet. You can't use the ones like you do on the other ones, but it's got its own pretty neat little device. It's called Delahenge, DAHLONEGA, Georgia, EM84AN. That's got a pretty neat little thing there. You're 40 over, I want to let you know, just busting in there as well, and I'm hearing you locally as well. Are over?
Roger there, Mr. Elmer. What you been up to, sir?
Doing everything and the good ones twice, over.
Roger. Are you on your 7300?
I'm on the 7300. That is the only radio book be on locally, Roger.
Roger. You on your Clarksville location?
No, I'm on the Hills location.
Is that right? Boy, you're booming in here.
Well, there's a big difference why I'm booming in there. I'm using full legal limit.
I see how you are.
Got to make happen when it happens. They're over.
Well, yes, sir. That's right. Be all that you can be as much as you can be, Roger.
All right, Jimmy, I won't take any more time from your Kiss vlog, but I want to say you're doing it in fine living color, 73s. Continue on, young man, N9 GTO.
Roger, N9 GTO. That's my Elmer there, 73, sir. Thanks for dropping by. Always a pleasure to talk to my Elmer. He keeps me informed with all the latest stuff and ideas to do. And just a long line tradition of Elmer's. He does just a great job for me. So thank you, Mr. Elmer. I appreciate that. That's N9 GTO, Lou. This is KC9 VKV, the Friday afternoon QSO Vlog Net. If you have a radio you want to check out, give me a shout.
If you have a radio you want to check out, give me a shout.
Kilo Delta 8, Sierra Echo Oscar.
Sierra Oscar, come back. Were we talking just a moment ago?
Were we talking just a moment ago?
Not so far. Kilo Delta 8, Sierra Echo Oscar.
All right, Kilo Delta 8, and what was the rest?
All right, Kilo Delta 8, and what was the rest?
Sierra Echo Oscar. Operator Dean, Delta Echo Alpha November in Michigan.
All right, Dean in Michigan, is that a Roger?
All right, Dean in Michigan, is that a Roger?
QSL. Well, I kind of heard you. I've heard you before on here, and I never really got brave enough to jump and say hello. But I'm lightning a month and a half ago. Took out 300, brand new. I got hit by lightning a month and a half ago. Took out about 4 of my radios. Couldn't get to them in time. The electrician said if I would have had my hands on them, I probably would have been killed anyways because we took a direct hit right to the house there. So just trying out the IC7300 and wondering how it was making out and how it was sounding to you there. Go ahead.
Roger, Dean. Well, I'm kind of operating under a problem this afternoon. I usually use Milford PA SDR as my one of my great receivers, and I'm into a Michigan station that SDR that has a tremendous bottom end. Most of these SDRs do roll off on the bottom end, but this thing I'm not real sure about. I've never run it before. It's up in Massachusetts somewhere. I am going to try to search around and see if I can find another SDR. I looked at my local antenna, and I don't have a copy on you at all. So why don't you tell me about your antenna system for about 10 seconds, and let me look around and see if I can find us a better path, Roger?
And let me look around and see if I can find us a better path, Roger?
Okay, very good. I'll call Charlie Alpha. Called Carol, Charlie Alpha Romeo Oscar, and once again this is a 7300, and I got her off-center fed Wyndham, inverted V, up about 35 foot to the apex and down to about 12 foot on the ends there. Hopefully that was enough to let you hear me.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. This SDR sounds really heavy on the bottom side. Let me see if I can pull up my other one here and just see what's going on. I'm getting into that now. Very good. This is like a one-arm paper hanger here. Trying to there. I think we're good. Dean, come back and let me see if I'm bringing you up on Milford now. Let me see what kind of copy I've got on you.
Okay, very good. Like I say, I'm located in Othello, Michigan, about 110 miles northeast of Detroit. A little town called Carroll, and we're about 35 miles right straight east of Saginaw. Go ahead.
Yes, sir. I'm copying you about 6 dB over Milford PA's noise level, so I've got a good copy on you now. And if you would be interested in a setup procedure, it starts with you engaging your compressor at a 3 out of 10, 30 out of 100, just a third of the capabilities of that compressor. Roger?
Roger?
QSL, well, I got it set at 3 right now, and that's, I had it at 5, and now it's on 3. Go ahead.
Yes, sir. Okay, then move to your ALC with mic gain in hand, and as you say the magic word audio, audio, stretching the A part, audio. Adjust your mic gain until your ALC meter is running 2/3. Roger?
It's running 2/3. Roger?
All right, Dean, I think you might have hit your VFO. We're at 7188. We are at 7188, and I usually recommend folks, if they're on the frequency for longer than 10 seconds or 15 seconds, to go ahead and hit their lock. So they don't have a problem with their wandering VFO. Roger, roger.
Wandering VFO. Roger, roger.
Okay, very good. I'm at 30% right now. 30% on the mic and number 3 on the compressor.
Yeah, the actual mic gain reading is not really important. It's how the mic gain affects your ALC meter. And we want that ALC meter to be at the 2/3 mark as you say the word audio. So try one more time and adjust your mic gain until your ALC is running 2/3 by saying the magic word audio.
The magic word audio.
Hello, Dean. Do you still copy, sir?
549.
Sorry, we may have doubled, Dean. You still got a copy?
And we missed double Dean. You still got a copy?
Okay, how's that sound right there?
Looking pretty good. Why don't you give me another 10 seconds and tell me the best thing you like about your radio, and I'll listen to your audio, Roger.
And I'll listen to your audio, Roger.
QSL. Well, that's at that's at about 100 watts. But it doesn't read that accurate. And the mic gain is at 50%, and the compressor's on at 3.
Yes, sir. Looking good. You do run now about 3 dB dynamic range, which is exactly what we were looking for. It's nice and fat, but crystal clear. We do need to go to your EQ page, if you can find that, on your equalization page, Roger.
On your equalization page, Roger.
Yeah, the problem is I left it at another person's house there, so I don't have the manual right with me there. Go ahead.
Yes, sir. Okay. Why don't you take a note, if you would, when you find everything in your EQ page. We want just a couple of clicks of boost on your treble EQ, plus 2 clicks boost treble EQ from where it is, Roger.
Treble EQ from where it is, Roger.
Okay, just a minute.
Roger, Dean. You can just take a note on that rather than having to do it. There's nothing worse than trying to find something that you're not familiar with. So you can just take a note and work on that at your leisure, Roger.
Work on that at your leisure, Roger.
QSL. Well, I'm on it right now there.
Oh, Roger. And what kind of EQ do you have there? Is it a 3-band or 8-band or?
Is it a 3-band or 8-band or?
I'm sorry, I doubled it. I got the TX bass at 3 and the TX treble at 2.
All right, advance one more click on the treble EQ. One more click treble EQ boost, Roger.
Treble EQ boost, Roger.
Okay, there's +3 and +3.
Yes, sir. Sounds good. And well, I'd like to get another recording of you, if I could, at that. Why don't you tell me again about the best thing you like about ham radio, Roger?
You like about ham radio, Roger?
Well, just like everybody else, I started back in the 70s on the CB band, the 11-meter band. And then a good friend of mine talked me into getting my tech. I'm going to I got that. Fortunately, I lost my wife in 2014, but I continued on and had an Icon 746 Pro. I like that. It's a beautiful radio. But like I said, I got hit by lightning, so I ended up going with a 7300, and the 7800 is just unbelievable to me. I mean, it's so much easy to use, and it takes a little while getting used to it, but everybody says it sounds good. Back to you.
Oh, yes, so you have the right radio. I mean, that 7300 is just, it's the radio of the century, actually. It's just a beautiful radio. Well, I think we got you there, Dean. If you would like to hear your audio, if you go to YouTube and do a call letter search for KC9VKV, followed by the word logbook, that will take you to this recording. We'll have it uploaded by noon tomorrow, and it should be cut number 1 in a series of 2,300 QSO Lager Check recordings. Roger?
QSO Lager Check recordings. Roger? QSL, it's Kilo Charlie 9, Delta, T is in Tom, V is in Victor.
It's Kilo Charlie 9, Victor, Kilo Victor. Kilo Charlie 9, Victor, Kilo Victor, and followed by the word logbook. So it's KC9VKV logbook on a YouTube search, and we'll have it uploaded by noon tomorrow.
Okay, very good. Well, I appreciate all the help on the radio. I went through and I'd had other people tell me that it was sounding great, but just like anything else, you can always make it sound just a tweak better. So I appreciate all the help on it, and I'll go to that KC9VKV logbook tomorrow and look it up to see what it sounds like. Once again, thank you. This is Kilo Delta 8, Sierra Echo Oscar, and I'll be clear with KC9VKV 73, and God bless from Dean.
Roger, Dean 73, sir. Have a great afternoon, beautiful weekend. Thanks for dropping by. If you get a chance, drop by next Friday. We'd love to have you. This is the Friday afternoon QSO Vlognet. We record now live till 5. So if you have a radio you want to check out, give me a shout.
You want to check out, give me a shout. Kilo Delta 2, Delta Mike Romeo.
Kilo Delta 2 station, come back slowly, phonetically with your call sign.
Back slowly, phonetically with your call sign. Hello, Jim. Kilo Delta 2, Delta Mexico Romeo. Fulton, Illinois on the Mississippi River. I got a 7,000, the YL station I want to play with. What do you think? You got time?
Yes, sir. And you're, what's the name there?
What's the name there?
One more time, noise got you.
Jeremiah.
Roger, Gary, I got you now. And you're in the Mississippi, is that a Roger?
You're in the Mississippi, is that a Roger? Illinois, Fulton, Illinois. Let me try to get this thing to act somewhat right for you. That'll help you. You can hear me better. Kilo Delta 2, Delta Mike Romeo. I've opened it up. Is that a little better for you?
Yes, sir. What is your location?
Yes, sir. What is your location? Fulton, Illinois on the Mississippi River. Clinton, Iowa. Fulton, Illinois.
I got you there, sir, and you're on a 7,000?
I got you there, sir, and you're on a 7,000? QSL 7,000 with a 993 Bravo. 4 22-foot wires. One of those old bow ties I like to play with.
All right, Gary, why don't you give me 10 about your antenna system, and let me look around and see if I can find a better path for us.
QSL. Over to about 20 to 30 feet of ladder line on 4
Roger, Gary. I got you there. I did have a little bit of copy on my local antenna, but still a better copy on my Milford SDR receiver. So I am copying you through Milford, and you're about, your signal's up and down a little bit. At the high point, it's probably about 5 dB over the Milford SDR noise level, and then it'll drop back down a little bit into the noise. So hopefully we can stay above the noise. You're running 400 watts, is that a Roger?
You're running 400 watts, is that a Roger? 100.
Running 100 watts, I got you, sir. I was thinking today is really, really a bad day. I would think, part of our set of procedures starts with usually, understanding that we need to be in that 100 to 2900 bandpass, but your radio is an earlier radio, so it just needs to be in the best setting it can be. Is that a Roger? Can it hit 100 to 2900?
Can it hit 100 to 2900?
All right, 3 on the compressors, Roger. Then move to your ALC with the mic gain in hand, and as you say the magic word audio, stress it out. Stretch it out. Don't stress it. Just say it like you would normally say a word in a QSO. Not particularly loud, but just say the word audio, and adjust your mic gain until your ALC is reading 2/3. Roger.
Is reading 2/3. Roger.
Gary, I get somebody coming in on the sides there a little bit, but let you try just a little bit more there. Tell me about the best thing you like about your radio there, and let me hear you just about 10 seconds, Roger.
Hear you just about 10 seconds, Roger. QSL, Jim. Cannot adjust the ALC. No ALC. Movable on the screen, so no show. I can move the knob, but no show. So I don't know what's going on there. Most I can do is turn up the compressor and down on the compressor. So, all right, Jim, I'll let you go. I think there's something wrong with this. I might have to figure it out. Kilo Delta 2 Delta Mike Romeo. Back to you, Jim. Thank you.
Roger, Gary. Well, looking at your audio, I think you are where you need to be. So whether your ALC is showing it or not, you seem to be right on target. So I would just leave it like it is, unless you want to take a look at what's maybe working on your ALC, but everything is set up technically just fine now. You're running about a 3 dB dynamic range, so you're loud, but the words are very clean, very clear, and that's what we're looking for. Roger.
Clear, and that's what we're looking for. Roger. Beautiful. That's what I want to know. Yeah, the YL is going to use this here. Engineer call.
Roger, Gary. Well, 73, sir. Have a great afternoon, beautiful weekend, and we'll be posting this up on YouTube. We are recording now live till 5, and we'll be posting it up on YouTube by noon tomorrow, so you just do a call and a search for KC9VKV, followed by the word logbook, and that will take you to this recording. It'll be cut number 1 in a series of 2,300 QSO VLOG Aircheck recordings. Roger.
QSO VLOG Aircheck recordings, Roger. QSL, Jim, thank you very much. The name here is Jeremy, J-E-R-E-M-Y, Jeremy. I'll look that up, and I'll continue listening. Thank you, 737.
Roger, you're saying Jerry, J-E-R-R-Y. Roger, Jerry?
Jerry, J-E-R-R-Y. Roger, Jerry. Julius, Echo, Romeo, Echo, Mexico, Yankee.
My noise. One more time, slowly.
My noise. One more time, slowly. Juliet, Echo, Romeo, Echo, Mexico, Yankee. Juliet, Echo, Romeo, Echo, Mexico, Yankee.
Jeremy, is that a Roger?
Jeremy, is that a Roger? QSL.
Thank you, sir. And do you go by the name Jerry or Jeremy?
Do you go by the name Jerry or Jeremy?
Roger, Jeremy. All right, sir. 73, sir. Thanks for dropping by. You have a great afternoon, beautiful weekend. And this is KC9VKV, the Friday afternoon QSO Vlog Net. We'll be recording now live till 5. So if you have a radio you want to check out, give me a shout.
If you have a radio you want to check out, give me a shout.
8 Golf Kilo KGVK.
I'm copying somebody on my local antenna station. Come back slowly, phonetically with your call sign.
Yeah, Kilo 8 Golf Victor Kilo K8 GVK.
GVK, Roger. What's the name there?
Yeah, my name's Dave. We're over here in Lansing.
Roger, and what's your location, Dave?
Yeah, Lansing.
Try it again.
Lansing in the state of Michigan.
Roger, Dave in Michigan. All right. And what radio are you running today, Dave?
Oh, the same one. I've always had, the ICOM 7300, but I changed my audio system and microphone, and it's a lot less complex than what it used to be. You got a strong signal here.
Yes, sir, Dave. Well, if you're interested in our setup procedure, you do look you're fairly unprocessed at the moment. We can make you a lot fatter and cleaner if you would be interested. First thing is make sure that 7300 is running in the wide transmit bandpass mode. That's 100 to 2900. Roger on that?
Yeah, it's all set wide mode, and I am running compression, and I'm at -2 and +3.
All right, on that compressor, we're looking for a 3. On the 7300, it would be a 3. A compressor on and at a 3. Roger?
Yeah, that's where it's set.
All righty, then move to your AOC with mic gain in hand. And as you say the magic word audio, and you just say the word, don't really stress it, just say it like you would in a normal QSO, audio, and adjust your mic gain until your AOC is running 2/3.
Okay, that's exactly what it's doing. It's about 2/3 right now. It's if you look at the S meter for a numerical, it's the LC is sitting around a 7 to an 8.
Roger. Yeah, we wanted 2/3 on the word audio. Audio is such a nice word because it's just like a tone. We used to say, speaking and set it from mid-scale to 2/3, but if you say the word audio, it's just like a setup tone, and you can just adjust your mic gain until your AOC is dead on 2/3. Roger?
Yeah, okay. Got it. Very, very good. You want me to check that now?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, all right. Well, there we go. Here, audio. Yeah, it's around 70% of scale.
Yes, sir. And it's a nice tone that you just kind of audio. Just kind of stretch that audio out, and it's just like a tone. Roger.
Yeah, Roger. Gotcha. Understand.
Sounds pretty good, sir. And your EQ pattern is very nice. I'm listening to you on my local antenna. My radio is good down to 100 cycles, so your curve sounds really nice.
Yeah, very good. Okay, thank you. I was kind of pleased with it. The microphone is the Heil ICM, which of course is well known for what it does. And that I recently switched over to that and moved off some of my other audio equipment, which is a mixer, equalizer, etc. You're 10 to 15 over 9 here. Where are you located?
We're down by Louisville, Kentucky. We're just across the river from Louisville, Kentucky. Roger, Roger.
Oh, yeah, sure. Very, very good. Yeah, we have a good path, and normally going that direction, I work a lot of various stations in that southern Ohio and Kentucky region. So it's good near vertical propagation most of the time.
Roger, Roger. And what kind of antenna are you running?
This is a Wyndham, 80-meter Wyndham.
Is that an in-fed?
No, it's a Wyndham.
I'm not sure the feeding capabilities. Is it like a dipole or how?
Well, yeah, it's not center fed. I guess most people don't really know what necessarily a Wyndham configuration is, but it's probably more popularly known as an off-center fed dipole.
Roger, Roger. Now, to me, the way we tune our dipole here is I'm not using a transformer. So I'm just going straight up. One side of the dipole is ground, the other side's hot. So I make SWR adjustments on my ground side, and I bring it back onto frequency on my high side, and I keep going back to my ground side for SWR adjustments, each time lowering the SWR and then bringing it back onto the right frequency on the high side. So we're around now at like 0.04, Roger?
Yeah, very good. Yeah, that's a good way to do it.
Seems to work, I mean, you can sit there and play with it for long, but, this seems to be a more systematic approach, and it just, I'm using split bolts at the end of the elements, and I use maybe an 8-inch to a 12-inch piece of wire hanging 90 degrees to the antenna itself, held by the split bolt. And I have another split bolt that I move up and down that 8-inch piece of wire that's hanging down from the end, and I can just very, very minutely make SWR adjustments and frequency adjustments. Roger?
Oh, sure. Yeah, very good. Hey, yeah, that's tried and true trick, so to speak. Drop it down and then roll it up or roll it down as necessary. I use a spindle or whatever. No, this a Wyndham. Well, you can look it up, but it has multiple resonant points along the spectrum, so it's usable very nicely on the lower end of 80 meters, and then 40, the 20, not 15, but 17. Anyway, you can add 12 and of course 10, and yeah, I've had it up for a good number of years. I actually have had several of them up. I also have an 80-meter center fed, but that's fed with 600 ohm open wire. And that, of course, is balanced, so I do use a balance. All in all, the whole scheme of things is to get the power into the radiating parts of the elements, and then hopefully it will radiate pretty much wherever it wants to, although you can't steer them. But this works, of course, it's a full wave here on 40, and admittedly it works quite well. I also have an end-fed on my other station, another station I have upstairs. That just goes out to 170 foot end-fed through an unknown. And surprisingly, that works very well, much better than what I thought it might. So there you go. Back to you, KGVK.
Roger, Dave. Sounds really nice. Just constant. I'm copying you on. I have on my local antenna. I have 5 antennas that I have a 6-position rotary switch on, and one's a dipole for 40, and I have 3 10-foot vertical magnetic loops, one aimed at 0 degrees, one aimed at 90 degrees, and one aimed at 134 degrees, and then I have a vertical antenna also. And right now I'm copying you on my 0 degree 10-foot vertical magnetic loop, and it's about 4 dB hotter than my dipole. Roger?
Yeah, very good. Now, how high are those loops?
I'm sorry?
How high in the air are the loops?
Oh, they're very low loops. They're about 2 to 4 feet off the ground. 2 of them have rotors. When we built our first one, we put it on a rotor, said, hey, we can go anywhere, do anything, but the thing is, rotors are just too slow by today's standards, so we decided to make 3 and then have them use it as a scanning array. Roger?
Yeah, very good. Okay. Yeah, that's a lot of fun. Yeah, very good indeed. I messed with some magnetic loops a long time ago, years ago. Not nearly as sophisticated as some of today's designs. Nevertheless, they did work. I didn't think they worked that well for me, but they did what they were supposed to do. I'm in the process of laying out a loop. Not a magnetic loop, but for this band. It's more of an experiment experiment period. Nothing permanent at this juncture. So I'm just waiting for the snow to fly because they only work. The theory is, anyway, antennas only work well when they're installed in the worst possible climate of the year,
Oh, roger that. Yes, it has to be minus 20 before you can work on antennas outside.
Yes, exactly. If the soldering iron heats up too quick, then you know that it's too warm. Yeah. Oh yeah, I've been out, and I have done that. I wasn't exactly minus 20, but yes, I've been out in that kind of weather, wind, and just terribly cold. Putting up, repairing, I should say, different antennas through the years. I've been on. I go way. Well, I don't know. Way back. I don't think I go way back. I don't feel like I do. But we've been on since the mid-50s. So I've been through a lot of different stuff, a lot of different fads. Of course, the infamous one in my world was the cubical quad. There was a period of time when that was the antenna of QSOs on the air seemed to be discussing their quad or somebody's quad or things of that nature. Do you remember those days at all?
Not really. I'm probably about. I just recently renewed my license, so I guess I'm about 11 years in. Roger.
Oh, I see. Okay. Yeah, very good. Well, yeah, that's good. Well, I've been at it, as I mentioned, a long time, so it's been quite a ride, especially living through the constant or increasing amount of technical achievements. SDR, you couldn't even imagine. It wasn't even something you could even think about because you never heard of it. And of course, with today's technology and various rigs, including the 7300, that was unimaginable not that many years ago. The hottest and the best radio historically until recent years, of course. But through the years was the Collins KWM series and the Collins S-Lines and 32 series. But only the the very well-heeled individuals would have those. Other than that, they were out of reach for us common kids.
Well, you know, the price of a 7300 today is, you know, fairly necessary to use. I mean, if you want to try to, you know, keep up with the Joneses, there, 7300 is by far and away the best way to go. I have one I keep on standby. I am using this is a 990, an older, about a 35-year-old Yaesu 990. That's pretty highly modified, coming and going on transmit and receive, good down to 100 cycles and up to 3 on the top. But I keep that 7300 as a backup, Roger.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah, no, that's not a bad idea. In fact, I was having a discussion with a friend of mine, and I concluded that should looking at the price point of the 7300, et cetera, something really bad happened, a big power surge or blows up or, you know, hit by lightning, et cetera, you know, just, I don't know if I would send it back. I think I'd just put it in the box and bury it and buy another one, you know. It's almost the more economical way to go.
Yes, sir. It's a beautiful radio. I think probably the transmitter on the 7300 is one of the nicest transmitters that I've ever run across. The limiter circuit is just so ideal. It just is. You know, I'm copying most folks. One of the things I have a spectrum analyzer off the audio circuit, but I'm also running a view meter that I can tell pretty much the way the meter moves as to what the dB range is as far as the amount of you know, how fat it is, and we usually set them up for a 3 dB dynamic range, which is a nice compromise there. They're very fat, with average percent of modulation at 3 dB is between 80 and 85%, which is just, you know, beautiful. And you can get fatter than that, but then what happens is the words start to blur. So at a 3 dB dynamic range, the words are crystal clear but loud. Roger?
Oh, yeah, right, exactly. Yeah, I think the only radio that I have, or in fact I still have it, is the Kenwood 870, and somebody really did their homework back on that design, because it is beautiful in each and every way, just fantastic dynamic range on the audio, and yeah, it was very, very, and still is, well respected, much like the ICOM series are at present. Cool.
Roger, Dave. Well, listen, let me say 73 that way, sir. Thanks for dropping by. And if you want to hear your audio, we are recording now live till 5. And then we'll post it up on YouTube. So if you want to hear it, if you go to YouTube and do a call letter search for Kilo Charlie 9, Victor Kilo Victor, followed by the word logbook, that will take you to this recording. It'll be cut number 1 in a series of 2,300 QSO VLAG recordings, and I'll have it uploaded by noon tomorrow. Roger?
Oh, yeah, cool. Very good, neat. Well, thanks. Yeah, I guess I'd be curious, obviously, and I'll take a look for that and give a listen. Okay. Job, you're incidentally hitting 20 over 9 that time, so yeah, the band is perfect for us at the moment. Have a good day, sir. And we'll do this again, KC9 VKV, Kilo 8 Golf, Victor Kilo 73.
Roger, Dave 73, sir. Have a great afternoon and a beautiful weekend. This is the Friday afternoon QSO VLAG Network. If you have a radio you want to check out, give me a shout.
Check out, give me a shout.
Sound like we have a little jammer up there in Pennsylvania land. We're running 4 Internet SDR receivers monitoring New York, Virginia, Georgia, and Pennsylvania, along with 3 10-foot vertical magnetic loops on our local antenna. So if you have a radio you want to check out, give me a shout.
Antenna. So if you have a radio you want to check out, give me a shout.
Yeah, you're somebody on my local antenna, sir. Come back slowly, phonetically, with your call sign. I got Whiskey 4 Sierra. Come back one more time with the whole call sign again, slowly, phonetically. I copy you on my local antenna, but you're right at my noise level. I've got Whiskey 4 Sierra. I think the next was Foxtrot. Is that a Roger?
Foxtrot, Germany. Foxtrot, Germany.
Whiskey 4 Sierra Foxtrot, Germany. Is that a Roger?
That is a Roger. I did not get your call myself.
Yes, sir. And who we got there? What's your name, sir?
The name here is Craig. Charlie Robert Adam, India George. Craig.
Roger, Craig. And what location are you, sir?
I am in Georgia. I'm talking to you on a
All right, I have a SDR down in Georgia, and I just went and checked, but I didn't have a copy on you. So, all right, and what radio are you running today, Craig? Yeah, Craig, you're right at my noise level. What I would do here is probably just, if you could, just take notes on our setup procedure, if you'd be interested. I don't have that good a copy on you. You're only about a dB over my noise level. So if you would, though, why don't you come back and give me 10 seconds. Tell me about your antenna system, and let me see if I can find a better path for us.
Okay. I am talking to you off of a long wire antenna, about 300 feet, city fed, hanging at about 40 foot in the air.
All right, I did copy you better on my Georgia and my Georgia SDR, so maybe we can make contact there. If you are interested in our setup procedure, first thing would be to note that you're in the wide transmit bandpass 100 to 2900. A lot of folks don't know how to check that right off, so let me just give you a note on that, and you can follow up on that later. You want to be in the wide transmit bandpass mode 100 to 2900. 100 to 2900, Roger?
100 to 2900, Roger.
Oh, Roger. Yeah, I've got that. My radio guy gave me all that, and I don't have to right now. I just wanted to make sure I could get out to you and see if this thing was halfway usable. Don't look like I'm putting out my wattage right now, but I would like your call sign again, please.
Yes, sir, Craig. Call sign is Kilo Charlie 9 Victor Kilo Victor. That's Kilo Charlie 9 Victor Kilo Victor. The name is Jim Juliet India Mike, and we're located just across the river from Louisville, Kentucky. We're on the Indiana side of the Ohio River, right at Louisville, Kentucky. Roger?
Right at Louisville, Kentucky. Roger?
Oh, Roger, I've got you. You're coming in strong here. You're good 5859 here in Georgia on me. I appreciate you. I heard you call me. I think I heard you earlier this week, and I was never able to get in. So that's what I was trying to do. I'm just right now. I'm just learning and playing with this TS820. I got full to a 7100 that does everything for me.
All right, you're running the 7100 now. Is that a Roger?
All right, you're running the 7100 now. Is that a Roger?
No, I'm just saying I'm learning and playing with this 820. I got spoiled to that 7100, and I've had this 820 back in a month, and I finally decided to get it fixed.
All right, so Craig, is that an 820? Is that a Roger?
So, Craig, is that an 820? Is that a Roger?
That's a Roger, 820S, the PS820S, the 77 model Kenwood hybrid.
Roger that. Well, sounds good. I think you've got the EQ running just fine there. If you want to hear your radio, I've got a little bit better copy on you. We're using the Georgia SDR now. And if you want to hear your radio, if you go to YouTube and do a call letter search for Kilo Charlie 9 Victor Kilo Victor, followed by the word logbook, that will take you to this recording. It'll be cut number 1 in a series of 2,300 QSO Vlog air check recordings, and I'll have it uploaded by noon tomorrow, Roger.
I'll have it uploaded by noon tomorrow, Roger.
Roger, I do appreciate that. Okay, I'm going to let you get back to the rest of your rat killing. I'm going to go in here and check on the dogs and make sure that they're not eating each other instead of their dinner. I appreciate you very much, and have a great weekend. Whiskey 4, Sierra Fox Golf 73.
Roger, Sierra Fox Golf. Have a great afternoon, beautiful weekend, and thanks for dropping by. If you get a chance, join us next Friday. We'd love to have you. This is the Friday afternoon QSO Vlog Net, and I see by the clock on the wall, ooh, we have a dead fly, and we got to get out of here. I hope you've enjoyed the broadcast. If so, if you want to hear your radio, if you participated, if you go to YouTube and do a call letter search for KC9VKV, followed by the word logbook, that will take you to this recording, and we'll have it uploaded by noon tomorrow. Right now, though, we got to get out of here, so we'll say 73 all. And we'll be returning this frequency back to normal amateur radio use. This is KC9VKV Clear.